want to talk to? You want to take this as read, or you want to bring any
it,
highlights to it?
I'll take it as read. Yeah. I'm the highlight.
You're the highlight. Did you notice that, Mr. Williams? Okay, fair enough. Any questions of Brent? Anybody for this tender, Councillor Kirk?
Yes, hi. I know that you go through the lowest price conforming method, but I just want to ensure that due consideration was given to the Taupo contractor who put in a tender.
Definitely all tenders were like lowest price. I think you'll be happy to find that SHIC is actually using local contractors to do a lot of the bulk earthworks.
That's good news, thank you.
Could it just a small refresher, in our weighting for our tender policies, don't we have a 10% weighting to local?
Not that I'm aware of.
Is that something that we've gone by the board?
We were supposed to, Your Worship.
We made that policy 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Local tenderers were to get a 10%. I'm going to go on memory here.
Yeah.
This tender wouldn't qualify for it. Even if there was a 10%, there wouldn't be a local.
So even if we had a 10% leverage, which Councillor Hick and I believe we have, Higgins contractors from Taupo still would not have been a successful tenderer.
Correct.
Okay. Cool. Councillor Williams?
Yes, Brent, I just noticed that the engineer's estimate is quite a way from the successful tenderer. Have you got any comment to make about that?
I think that's it's the time we're tendering the work. Our pumice soils are easy to work in the winter. Those contractors are very, very hungry at the moment with the current economic climate. They've got their sharp pencils out for the benefit of the council. It's a good thing.
Fantastic.
Okay, any further questions?
Yeah,
You're looking at me. Councillor Hickley?
I'll ask one. Brent, obviously it's come in at a good price.
Yes.
But in our budget, what I mean, we must have had a sum of money set aside for a new cell.
Yes.
How much are we in credit from your budget? Do you know?
There might be 150k there, I think.
Oh,
Something
okay.
like that. Yep.
So,
yep.
Actually, that question leads me on to thinking when we're asked to approve tendered contracts such as this one here today, wouldn't it be prudent to have here what we'd actually allowed for in our annual plan or our long-term plan, so we know if we've got unders or overs, or we don't know, for argument's sake, whether we've only got 500 grand allowed for this and we're overspending by 4k.
I wouldn't be able to bring that tender to the table if I hadn't. I'd be working with the chief executive to look at that tendering process and wouldn't be bringing it to the table if we didn't have it funded.
Well, then could I ask the chief executive officer, could it be possible that we for councillors FYI information know that you're in your budget or out of it, or?
Yep. One of the major difficulties with that is that we budget for projects rather than individual tenders at times, and if you disclosed a project budget, it could skew people's understanding of what's being approved.
Well, even if we could have a reassurance that we are in our budget. But
look,
as you say, you're not allowed to bring it
here. He wouldn't bring it here if we weren't in budget.
Under the financial considerations section, there's a statement saying that there is funds allocated for this work. So it does actually say that we have the required funding.
And through the chair.
Oh, okay. We should actually read, shouldn't we? If we go back to page 1, I take it all back. Sufficient funding for this work has been allocated in the Council's 2011 annual plan and the solid waste capital works budget. So I apologise, Mr. Benhennan.
If councillors had looked at page 9.9 of their agenda, which is the financial performance report related to CapEx, you'll see a line there, Broadlands Road landfill new cells budgeted 1.125 million. So it's already in the papers that was circulated.
That tells us what the budget is. That doesn't tell us whether we're under or over.
well, it's under.
And hence the expenditure of 892,000 is within the budget of 1.125 million.
It is, but will we be within the budget is our question, because Mr. Williams just said there are several components to this that have to add up to under it, don't they?
Yep. Well, again, it's brought to you on the basis that we're within our budget, and that's why we ask you to approve these tenders. The difficulty with separating out project budgets at times is that you could declare certain confidentialities in terms of your own commercial position if you allow other contractors to know what you'd actually budgeted for that particular tender. Because in this claims-conscious environment, tenderers can often budget or tender low and then operate on a claims basis, and we don't want to give them any information that allows them to know what money may be on the table from any particular tender process.
Well, thank you for that explanation, but I think it's only fair to also expect, though, that all us councillors sitting here are very, very conscious about money issues at the moment, and even if you have to tell us confidentially in a room, we need the reassurance so we can go out in the public and know hand on heart that we are trying to keep the boat afloat. So, any further questions? There being none, I will put the motion. Mover, please. Councillor Downard, seconder. Councillor Kirk, all in favour? Aye. Thank you very much, Brent.
Thank you.